Some news stories from Ethiopia, viewers. From Tigray, we have a statement of the head of Tigray's Social Affairs Bureau. He says half of Tigray population could perish if siege continues. It's an alarming statement, viewers. Secondly, Getachew Reda and Jula, Ethiopian army chief and Ethiopian field marshal, they have exchanged some threats. Both have threatened, I think. Who are they threatening? What are they saying? And thirdly, viewers, a viewer shared some pictures with me. He said, Sajid, you keep on talking about humanitarian crisis in Tigray. See what's happening in Tigray. What are TDF Generals doing? These pictures of some TDF Generals, I'll show you. What are they doing? Can we criticize them on the basis of these pictures? Before these three news stories, just an update from Sudan, viewers. We know that massive protests were happening in Sudan. In several previous videos, I covered the protests. What's the latest there now? Well, situation is the same in Sudan. When I'm recording this video now, massive protests are underway. Sudanese protesters have managed to reach the gates of presidential palace once again. Security forces are firing tear gas. Reportedly, live bullets are being fired. In Al Jazeera, Port Sudan, Khartoum, several areas of Sudan, massive demonstrations are underway. This is 21st, I think, round of protests since October 25, when Abdul Fattah al-Burhan removed former PM of Sudan. The PM was reinstated, Abdullah Hamdok. Later he resigned, but the situation could not come under control. Sudanese protesters are not stepping back from their demand. They are demanding that military should have no role in politics. Watch a video clip of today's protest. Second was an alarming statement from Tigray's Social Affairs Bureau head. He says half of Tigray population could perish if siege continues. Now, we don't have anything to challenge this statement. Aid agencies, they're saying the same. They say that tens of thousands are facing famine in Tigray. Ethiopian government denies all these estimates, all these numbers. But since no aid is being allowed to enter Tigray and no petrol is being allowed to enter Tigray, banks are closed, communication services are closed, Tigray is under total blockade. So we'll have to rely on the statement of Tigray's departments. External Affairs Bureau head says that half of population could perish based on research which has been conducted by Tigray government officials. The numbers could be exaggerated. It does not mean that everything is okay in Tigray. No, viewers. People are in dire need of aid. And while I'm covering Ukraine-Russia conflict, I'm calling upon the viewers who watch me that we should not forget what's happening in Ethiopia. In Tigray especially, in Afar too, there is humanitarian crisis in Afar as well. But in Tigray, since it's under siege, situation is worse. It's alarming. Statement of this Tigray official should not be taken lightly, viewers. Watch the statement of Tigray Social Affair Bureau head about the catastrophe which could happen in Tigray in coming days.
The head of Tigray's Bureau of Social Affairs, Jula Getachew says research conducted by the office indicated that close to half of the population in Tigray could perish due to the ongoing siege that has blocked off all food items and medical supplies coming into the region for close to 7 months now.
As the siege has continued to tighten, the concerns have also increased. We are at the edge of extinction. According to the research, half the population in Tigray will perish should the siege continue till April 9. Our bureau is receiving almost daily reports of suicide, while many more are dying due to lack of medication.
Thirdly, viewers, Berhane Jula, Field Marshal of Ethiopian Army, and Getachew Reda, TPLF presidential spokesperson, have exchanged some threats, not personal threats. Firstly, we saw a statement from Berhane Jula. He threatened TPLF. He said, TPLF has been given an opportunity. If TPLF did not make use of this opportunity, action will be taken against TPLF. Then Getachew Reda spoke a few hours ago. Last night he spoke and he said, if situation did not improve, Tigray would be forced to adopt other measures. So both are threatening each other. Ethiopian National Defense Force seems to be saying that Tigray forces should withdraw from Afar. They should not start any major offensive on Humra, Volkait, Segede, and they should not start any major attacks on Amhara as well. Tigray government spokesperson says that unless and until Tigray is under siege, Tigray cannot sit silent. It will have to find a way to open humanitarian corridor which its people are in need of. So, situation is becoming a little heated. We know that indirect talks are underway, most sources confirm. But since we have not seen any result of these talks, that is why frustration is setting in, especially in Tigray. People of Tigray will force Tigray government to take action. Tigray government will be forced to take action because it is responsible for the provision of food, clothing, services to the people of Tigray. If Tigray remains under siege, if talks are prolonged, of course, we could see some desperate actions, especially from Tigray side. That is why perhaps fighting is still ongoing in Afar region of Ethiopia. But the statements of Field Marshal Berhane Jula and Getachew Reda indicate the situation is far from being calm and peaceful, and suddenly tensions could escalate. Lastly, viewers, a viewer shared some pictures with me of some TDF Generals. First, have a look at these pictures. General Migbe, some other generals can be seen with some wine bottles. He said, Sajid, you speak so much about humanitarian crisis in Tigray. Look, what are TDF Generals doing? They have wine, they have women, and they are having fun and you just keep on misguiding people. Well, I don't know when these pictures were captured, before the war, after the war. And secondly, if TDF Generals, even if the pictures are recent, it does not mean that we should not speak for the poor people of Tigray, people of Amhara, people of Afar. We say that people in Tigray should be accessible. Aid agencies should be able to deliver aid to the people of Tigray, not to TDF Generals. We're not speaking on behalf of Tigray government, on behalf of TPLF, on behalf of TDF Generals. Let them do what they are doing. Only thing is that people in Tigray, Amhara, Afar should be accessible. They are accessible. They are accessible in Amhara, partly accessible in Afar, totally inaccessible in Tigray. And there is no fuel, there is no aid which is being allowed to enter Tigray. I am not representative of TDF or TPL of Tigray government. I only speak for the people who are trapped, who are the victims of this conflict across Ethiopia. Thank you for watching.